So this is a fabulous Kirsten Johnson, and she has invited me to the most creative interview that I've ever been invited to. Look.
I started this show to help me come alive, to get off my laptop and out into the world, adding more fun to my online business, while also learning how to become a speaker and publish my first book, The Heartgasm Revolution. Today we're going to GOLDUST Spa, where I'll meet Kate for the first time. We both moved to Bali 5 years ago and became Facebook friends back then. Over the years, I've seen her rise as a speaker, and now she is the creator of SHE, an annual leadership event for Australasian women, and the founder of Bliss Tonic Cacao. I'm super excited to finally meet Kate. She's here! Wanted to be your friend and connect with you, but I haven't really had the courage to do it. Plus, I admire your work.
Well, thank you so much. Well, officially, should we just put a ring on it? Because yeah, it's funny, like you said that I don't have a lot of people who are super close. I only ever want to have people who are close who are just I really want there. Yeah, I've done it alone for a long time as well. I've actually been calling in lately high-level women to hang out with, and you've always stood out to me.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Thank you.
I remember I actually have a vision of seeing you at Hubud, and I walked in and you had your bright lipstick on. And I still remember where you were sitting, and I remember you always just stood out. Yeah, you were something special. Yeah.
Thank you. Kate's immediate friendliness and kindness blew me away, inspiring in me a warm heartgasm as we began our 24-karat gold facials. Then the thought came how silly it has been to have waited so long to sincerely reach out and make a plan to connect. I am so excited to officially introduce you to someone that I have admired from afar, and my name is Kate Maree O'Brien.
Thank you for having me, and it's super sweet that Kirsten says that, because I've seen you online and I've just seen, it's funny, this is our first time meeting, but I've just seen your genuineness. You're just super fucking genuine. A bit about me, so I live in Bali. I'm married, I've got 2 kids, and I grew up in New Zealand. I never actually set out to do this as a job. It's funny. More sort of stumbled into it because it's something that I was passionate about given my own background. Been to a lot of rock bottom, drugs. I was like so rock bottom. I think there was really only 2 options, pretty much, probably die or scrape myself off the ground literally that night, and anorexia. And I've had also like a lot of anxiety and clinical depression twice in my life.
I feel like I know you in a way because of your videos that I've seen online over the years.
Yeah.
And I know that you're very open and honest and encouraging.
Growing up, my dad, who I now have a fabulous relationship with, was an active alcoholic, super violent. These days, we have a great relationship. He's been in AA for years. He's restored and like done whatever he had to do on his end, and I couldn't be more proud of him. Yet, growing up, it sucked at times. It was really painful, and I really lost my voice, honestly, as a kid. Like, boundaries constantly bulldozed over. And then so my experience as an adult is that I've always known there's been this power within me, but for me the grapple has been really, and still today, honestly, like at each new level I go to, there feels like, I never feel like I've got it sorted. But the other thing is I've never waited to have it fully sorted. And you know, I've often had this grapple of really letting the power through, because there's so much of this voice that wants to people please and manage and dial it down and don't rock the boat, because rocking the boat for me as a kid was really fucking scary. And so I often find that dance, and I know Hinari, my husband, for those who don't know me, has often said for years, he said, you're like this lion pretending to be a mouse. And that has probably been one of the things that has stood out to me the most, because I think a lot of women experience that. This really dialing down of expression and oomph.
I relate so much to everything you're saying. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, what parts?
I just, the way that you grew up and what you experienced and how you reacted to it.
And it's interesting because people who have grown up in the kind of environments that we have, there's, I don't know if you've experienced it, but like a level of hypervigilance that's in the background, like always making sure you're kind of like one step ahead. This has definitely been my experience is, and one thing I'm really dealing with at the moment, well, not dealing with as much as working through, is that the old space that I've done for, I'm 37 now, the last 30 years, is that I've just lived in a fucking space of just such chronic, extreme hypervigilance. And people don't see that when they probably first will look at me. They're like, yeah, she takes action. But sometimes the driver can be, I'm just, there's this experience of weightiness that I've had a lot of my life, and I've had lots of anxiety and guilt in the background driving a lot of stuff. So yeah, one hand, I suppose it's got me places, but on the other hand, I'm really ready for a whole new shift. And yes.
That makes me, so this morning I pulled out one of your creative activation cards.
Yeah.
You guys, she has made these beautiful cards. Pulled a card to ask you today.
Oh, there's 2 of those in that box.
Really?
Yeah, because it's my favorite.
Oh, that's so. If I were to be fully owning the leader of my life, I would. So that's how beautiful this bad boy looks.
Yeah, it's actually the question I ask myself every day. That one. Yep. And this helps guide me to step up, to show up in everything from what I'm taking on, and it's the whole reason why I'm doing SHE, which we can talk about. But it also helps me when I'm being an asshole. To go, honey pie, if you were being the leader of your life right now, what would you be doing? Yeah, I'd be getting off my stuff. I'd be letting go of trying to be right. I'd probably be apologizing. I'd probably be listening a little bit more. Or I'd be actually putting down my boundary and being really fucking clear, like, that's not okay with me. So this here, I just think is like coaching in a box, this one question. Because if we can honestly answer for ourselves in the moment, like, yeah, right now I'm actually being the leader for myself, and then that's the guider. So I asked myself that question again, like end of last year, and I was like, oh, if I was really being the leader at the next level of my life, what would I be taking on? And it was really clear, Kate, honey pie, you'd be doing that women's leadership, like, bump for space. And then the little voice came in like, oh yeah, I'll do that in a year's time when I'm ready. No, you'll do it now. And so you said yes to it that day, declared it publicly on Facebook, so there was no going back. And then, yeah, it's happening this August.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
So what helps you break through, what I think I heard helps you break through because I find that it's like, yes, I'm going to do it. Oh, I take an action. Oh God, what am I thinking? Oh, no, we show up anyway. Like, it's like this dip right after.
Yeah.
So declaring it online helps you get through that.
Just declaring it anyway. I think one of the things is, one, we actually know the things that we want to do. And when people say, I don't know, I just think it's such a get out of jail free card. Yeah. I think if we require ourselves to know, we know. And getting in the habit of asking yourself a question like that on a regular basis, and then trusting those nudges when they come through. But then the next thing to do is actually take action on the nudge. And the first thing to do to take action is get skin in the game, whatever that means. And so public declaration is a great way to do it, because one of the key reasons why people won't declare the things that they want to do is that they think to themselves, oh, I won't declare it because what if it doesn't happen? Well, that's exactly. So the moment you buy into that reason, you're fucked. Like, game over. It ain't happening.
You created the out.
You've literally just put 20 back doors open. You gotta close the back doors. And the thing is, we're never going to know how. So just getting that, then you just completely release that. I've never felt ready for all of the things I say yes to. Like, on a daily basis, I feel all sorts of feels. Today I'm feeling more vulnerable than usual. And, you know, like, that's also okay. I think that's one of the things is that what I've learned is at each stage you keep growing to. I've never got rid of those parts of me, and I think the only thing is I've just stopped trying to. Is that over time, the more action you do take, the more you follow through on things, you just build a lot of courage. I honestly think that's probably the biggest mistake that people make, is like trying to have things all perfect before they create. And then at the moment when things get messy, like that, like dropping cacao on the ground, like that's what happens when you create.
I just spilled cacao on the ground. Just so, oh, it's
All
right
over
here. It's right here. So
ground.
if you're noticing the cacao shower, that's what happened. By the way, this is something that is Bliss Cacao. This is
Bliss Tonic Cacao.
Bliss Tonic Cacao. This is her. How would you describe it? Deliciousness.
Yeah, Bliss Tonic Cacao. It's so a high-grade ceremonial cacao that's grown here in Bali. Delicious, amazing way to create.
Yeah, so this is something that Kate creates that I've been sipping while I've been doing those cards in the morning, which is such a beautiful way to wake up.
Yeah.
And one thing on what you were saying before, I think I've recently been in the delusion. I haven't experienced large amounts of doubt and fear and everything else. Kind of like, oh good, I kind of mastered this a little bit. Like I've been in that, and like moving back to Bali, like everything is amazing. I've been super, super happy, and like life is always going to be this way. And then I was like, well, I want to do something new. Yeah. Which was this, you know? And as soon as I said I'm going to do it, and then I put it on Facebook, then all of a sudden, all the stuff came up. And who do you think you are? What are you talking about? Yeah. And then I'm like walking down the street, and there's a camera on me. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. I'm like, oh, there it is. I actually haven't been playing big. That's why I haven't heard it.
That's it right there. Yeah, when you really put yourself on the court, it's like you know it. You absolutely know it. And it doesn't feel easy. Things don't feel smooth. But that's the misconception, is that often people are wanting to do this to get to a point where it's always easy. You've got to go all in. You've got to be able to risk stuff. You've got to be able to put things on the line. And when you do, you face off with your own stuff. Big time.
I have felt called to be a speaker for 8.5 years now. I'm 9.5 years sober, so I was about a year sober when I realized I was a speaker, which was confusing. I was a statistician at the time, working for startups, managing massive amounts of data. Like I was in a recovery meeting and they made me speak. And when something happened inside me when I was doing it, even though I was terrified and crying and scared, something inside me was like, this is it. And I was like, what? No. And so I have known that, and then I've done things like go to Toastmasters and work on developing those skills. But I really haven't ever known how to bring that into life, really. Yeah. And I see you as someone who's doing that. I've seen you speak at different events. I've seen you host different events. And I know a lot of the people who like to watch my videos, they also want to do that. They're aspiring speakers and messengers and storytellers in a way. And so what advice would you have for somebody who feels that calling inside, but isn't really living it at the level that they feel they are to?
2 words. Do you know what they are?
No.
Do it.
Just do it, but I'm like, that's 3.
Yeah. Yeah, or just fucking do it. No, yeah, like really just do it. And I think there's 2 levels to doing it. One is preparing and learning, and the other is getting in the arena. And a lot of times people might spend a lot of time thinking they're doing it, but what they're in is chronic preparation mode, chronic learning. Yeah. And then we pat ourselves on the back, but we're not actually doing it. And we feel comfortable because we're learning how to speak, for example. Let's use it as an example. So I would say just do it, like make opportunities where you get to be on stages and just get good at it, When I first started off, I just literally got myself on stages. I felt sick every single time. I hated it. Like it was a scary experience, and then I got off and I felt amazing.
You have SHE coming up. A conference, you're speaking at events, you're hiring speakers.
Yeah.
So I would love to hear a little more about SHE.
So my vision for SHE, it's an annual leadership, I was going to say event / extravaganza for Australasian women. That literally women get to step into a space of full self-expression, full permission to dream big, and then followed up with the absolute strategies and tools to make it happen. 3 days, and it's filled with celebrity speakers. So we've got a lineup of celebrities, and it's like, I'm so excited. And that they're women who have built huge empires from the dirt. And they've just been, I'd say, the tagline is unstoppable is an understatement. And they have been unstoppable. They've been mothers. They have literally done what it takes. 2 of our celebrity speakers have built billion-dollar businesses. and they are just so inspiring. So they're going to be there and teaching their skills and tips while I'm providing that background leadership training. So excited.
Love it.
Yeah.
What do you look for when you hire speakers? What are the quality? Unstoppable.
Yeah. Say two things. One is what are they bringing that's going to be of massive value to the audience, and the second thing is their vibe and ethos aligned. So those are the two things I look for. Yeah.
Cool.
So I've really personified what she is. She's like this powerhouse of an energy that women get to step into for themselves, and so each of the women they've got to embody that she vibe in their own flavor.
What is your message for the world?
I'd just say stop fucking around and actually do what you're feeling called to do. Don't wait till you're ready. You're never going to feel ready. That's it. Honestly, my messages are so damn simple, because that's what I've learned for myself, is that it's what's worked for me is absolutely keeping things simple. And I think the opposite of that, when people really complicate it for themselves, that's when they start getting stuck. It's got to be bigger than this, or I've got to be feeling better than this. Don't think so. It's definitely not been my experience anyway. So I think we each have something that we're custom built for, and if we're feeling nudged in a certain direction, just do it, because we're not seeing those things unless they were actually designed for us. And the other thing is, we were designed for it. Like, that was my big really getting over the years, is that I used to think, oh, that childhood that I had, those journeys that I had, I used to think that sucked. Poor me. I've wasted fucking 28 years of my life, like, getting through anorexia, getting through drug addiction, getting through depression. I wish I didn't have that childhood. I wish I didn't have those experiences. What I really get now is that they were custom built for me, because then I get to be the woman that I am with the kind of perspective that I have, and I wouldn't have had that if I hadn't have had those. So it's actually not my right to go, oh no, I'm too scared to go do that thing and make the difference, because actually that's what I've been built for. So I think, yeah, go and do it, and trust where you're getting guided, and really embrace that the journey that you've had, even when it doesn't feel like it, has been working for you. And I think when we own those bits, the only thing to do is step up and do it, and get in the damn arena.
Love it. Love it.
Cheers. I think a big thing I'd love to encourage people to do is to stop waiting until they have things perfect, or they have the answers before they jump. Yeah, I've self-doubted the whole way through. My little loop that I've had over my life is this, I'm not good enough, I've done something wrong, just like every other human being, And honestly, I spent years with NLP training and ontological training to try and eliminate that, doing swish patterns and all sorts of things. But at each new level, it's going to then come up again. So I realized it's not actually to be gotten rid of. I got the pleasure of nursing people when they were dying. And the thing that I heard over and over again is that I regret not doing the things that I wanted to do and not being the person that I was called to be.
What was it? Just fucking do it?
Yeah, JFDI.
JFD, is that it? Is that your message? JFDI?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a central theme to a lot of the leadership trainings I do.
I love it. All right, well, let's cheers. Thank you so much today for coming and joining us. And this has been, you've been very generous with your heart in this. I wasn't expecting it to be so open in the beginning. I was taken aback. I was like, oh, this is cool. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And thank you so much for having me and for the gold facial. Most creative interview ever. My Lord.
And the cacao. Thanks for the cacao. It's delicious.
Our pleasure.
Just like blew me away that you're leading as like, I don't know if this sounds weird, like a normal person. And I was like, oh, she's amazing. That's awesome. Thank you.